The Pathibhara Devi temple, also known as Mukkamlung, is one of the most significant religious sites in Nepal. Located in Taplejung district of eastern Nepal, situated at an elevation of 3,794 meters or 12,448 feet atop a hill in the Kanchenjunga mountain range. It is a revered Shakti Peeth, a sacred site associated with the goddess Shakti, and a place of pilgrimage for Hindu, Buddhist, and the indigenous Limbu people. Historical and mythological origins. The origins of the Pathibhara Devi temple are deeply rooted in oral traditions and local folklore, lacking precise historical documentation but rich in narrative significance. The most widely accepted legend traces the temple's establishment to an event involving local shepherds. Centuries ago, shepherds grazing their flocks on the hill where the temple now stands reportedly lost hundreds of sheep under mysterious circumstances. They searched in vain until one night the goddess Pathibhara Devi appeared to them in a dream. She instructed them to perform a ritualistic sacrifice of a sheep and build a shrine in her honor at the spot where the animals have vanished. Following her directive, the shepherds compiled and miraculously their lost flock reappeared. This event is said to have marked the beginning of the temple's sanctity and the tradition of animal sacrifice to appease the goddesses. The story aligns with the temple's reputation as a wish-fulfilling deity. Devotees believe that Pathibhara Devi, a fierce manifestation of the goddesses Durga, also known as Kali, Chandi, Mahamaya, or Maharudri, grants the heartfelt desire of those who approach her with selfless devotion, be it children for the childless, wealth for the poor, or health for the afflicted. The practices of offering sacrifices gold and silver reflects this belief in her benevolence towards the pure-hearted and her severity towards those with malicious intent. The temple's name, Pathivara, is said to be derived from its geographical setting. The hill resembles a pathi, a traditional grain container, with vara suggesting wealth or abundance, symbolizing the goddess's capacity to bestow blessing. Alternatively, Mukkamlung in the Limbu language, from Mukku meaning strong and Lung meaning place, reflects its significance to the Limbu community as a site of power and purity, predating its Hindu association. Connection to Shaktipeeth. Pathivara Devi Temple is regarded as one of the Shaktipeeth, sacred sites linked to the Hindu myth of Sati, the first wife of Lord Shiva. According to legend, after Sati immolated herself in her father Daksha's sacrificial fire, a grieving Shiva wandered the earth carrying her body. As pieces of her corpse fell, each location became a Shaktipeeth imbued with divine energy. While some traditions associate Pathivara with the fall of Sati's throat, the exact connection varies across regional narratives, and its status as a Shaktipeeth is more a matter of local belief than scriptural consensus. This designation elevates its spiritual stature, drawing pilgrims from Nepal and India. Cultural and religious syncretism. The temple's history reflects the cultural complexity of Kathmandu Valley and eastern Nepal. Initially an animist shrine for the Limbu people, an indigenous group with a significant presence in Taplejung, it was Manghim Limbu Temple, dedicated to natural and ancestral spirits. Following the Gorkha conquest of Limbuwan, the Limbu homeland, by Prithvinarayan Saha in the late 18th century, the site was absorbed into mainstream Hinduism, reimagined as a Shaktipeeth without erasing its Limbu roots. This blending of traditions is evident in its dual reverence. Hindu worship Pathivara Devi as a form of Durga, while Limbus honor her as a protective deity within their Kirat religious framework. Buddhists in the region also visit, seeing her as a compassionate force, making the temple a rare symbol of religious harmony. The Malla dynasty, 1201 to 1769 CE, which shaped much of Newar and Nepali culture, had little direct influence over distant Taplejung, but it emphasizes on temple building and Shakti worship, likely in reinforced Pathivara's prominence as trade and cultural exchange linked the valley to the eastern hills. The temple's remote locations preserve its indigenous character until broader Hinduization occurred under Gorkha rule. Evolution through history. The physical temple likely began as a simple shrine or rock or natural formation venerated by locals. Over time, as its fame grew, it evolved into a more structural site. Historical records are scarce, but the temple's significance is underscored by its devotees, including Nepal's former royal family, who visited and offered patronage. The Gorkha period, post 1769, saw its integration into Nepal's Hindu landscape, though it retained its rock, primitive driven character due to its inaccessibility. The modern temple structure emerged in the 20th century. In 1995, the Pathibhara Area Development Committee was formed to manage the site, and in 2001, a sacred rock was replaced with a copper statue of goddesses Durga, crafted from recycled offerings like tridents and pots donated by pilgrims. This transformation reflects both practical needs, managing growing pilgrim numbers, and a desire to honor devotees' contribution, such as the copper gate built under sculptor Rajendra Silpakar's guidance. Post-Gorkha and Rana era challenges. After the Gorkha unification, the temple's remote locations shielded it from direct political interference. But the Rana regime, 1846 to 1951, and its Muliki-in of 1854, classified all Eastern Hill communities, including Limbu, under broad, reductive categories, sidelighting their distinct identities. Despite this, Pathivara's spiritual pull endured, sustained by local devotion rather than state support. The 20th century brought infrastructure improvement, roads to Taplejung and Suketar Airport, making it more accessible, though the final trek remains arduous, reinforcing the belief that hardship enhances the pilgrimage merit. Today, Pathivara Temple attracts over 350,000 visitors annually, peaking during festivals like Dasai and Chaitra Navami. Located 19.4 kilometers northeast of Fuling Bazaar, it is reached via a 3 to 4 hour trek from Kaflepati, following a route through Deorali, Ramitedanta, Chattedunga, Balugaonda, and Phedi. The journey, framed by rhododendron forest and Himalayas, vistas including Kanchenjunga, the world's third highest peak, combines spiritual and natural allure, doubling as a side route for the Kanchenjunga trek. The temple, setting at 3,794 meters, offers breathtaking views of the Kanchenjunga Range, Everest, Makalu, and parts of Sikkim and West Bengal, enhancing its mystique. Offering generates significantly revenue, over 10 million NRP yearly, funding local development while basic lodging near the temple supports pilgrims. It's inclusively open to all castes and faiths, distinguishes it from many traditional Hindu sites, reflecting its animist Hindu-Buddhist synthesis. The Pathibhara Devi Temple's history and origins weave together indigenous Limbu reverence, Hindu mythology, and regional folklore. Emerging from a shepherd's divine encounter, it grew from a local shrine into a pan-Nepali pilgrimage site. Its sanctity, impelled by its Shaktipith status and syncretic appeal. Shaped by centuries of devotion, conquest, and adaptation, it stands as a testament to Nepal's spiritual diversity and the enduring power of faith in its rugged eastern hills. It remains a living symbol of cultural resilience and divine promise. Thank you.